Finding future amounts using simple interest. The problem that we'll discuss in this video will help us understand compounding interest. We're going to use the simple interest formula to compound interest after certain periods of the year. Assume that $10,500 is invested in an account earning 2% compounded annually for 4 years. What is the future amount? Round to the nearest cent. To solve this problem, we're going to first identify the number of times the investment is compounded a year and multiply it by the number of years the investment will stay in the account. This problem tells us that we are compounding annually, so that means that we're compounding one time a year. And we're doing this for 4 years. So that means that we'll have 4 compounding periods. Next, we're going to complete a chart. This chart will help us complete each iteration for the compound interest. Notice that the first column represents the year or the compounding periods. So we previously said that we're compounding annually for 4 years. So 1 times 4 is 4, so that means I'm going to have 4 rows to represent the 4 years or the 4 compounding periods. So this will be year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4. My next column is the simple interest formula, principal times rate times time. My third column is the result of multiplying P times R times T, which is I, and that's the amount of interest. And then the next column will add the principal to the interest. And the last column is the compound amount. So that is the answer of adding the principal to the interest. So we'll go ahead and get started. For year 1, we're just going to use the principal of $10,500. And we're going to multiply that by R, which is 2% or 0.2. T is going to be 1 since we're only computing the amount of interest for year 1 in this row. So 10,500 times 0.02 gives me a value of 210. So I'll write the 210 or 210 in the I column. Next, we're going to add the principal, which was 10,500, to the interest, which was 210. So 10,500 plus 210 gives me a value of $10,710. So that's the compound amount for year 1. Now this problem wants us to compound annually. So that means that I'm applying the interest for next year on the original principal plus the interest that was earned. So that means that I am applying the interest for year 2 on top of the compound amount that we just found. In other words, the compound amount is going to be my new principal. So I'll take that amount, which is 10,710, and plug that in for P for year 2. And we'll multiply that by 0.02, and again, T is 1, since I'm taking 1 year at a time. So $10,710 times 0.02 gives me a value of 214.20 or 0.2. And then I'll add 10,710, which was my new principal amount, and I'll add that to the interest that I just found, which is $214.20. And when I add those two values together, we get $10,924.20. And this value will now be my new principal for year 3. So I went ahead and plugged in that value for P in my next iteration, and I'll multiply it by the interest rate of 0.02. And we get an interest amount of $218.484. And we don't want to round any decimal until we reach our final answer. Next, we'll go ahead and add 10,924.20 to the 218.484. And when you add those two values together, we get a compound amount of 11,142.684. And that's going to be the new principal for year 4. Okay, so for our last year, year 4, we're just going to take 11,142.684 and plug it into our principal for year 4. And then we'll multiply it by 0.02, and we get an interest amount of $222.85368. Next, we'll add the principal to the interest rate to get 11,365.53768. And this is our future amount. The future amount is always the last compound amount of the last compounding period. Now, the future amount should be written in monetary form, so we need to round to the nearest cent. This means we'll round to 2 decimal places. So the future amount equals $11,365.54. And that is our final answer.